What's up, guys? Welcome to the second episode of Lowyat Reboot, the show where we talk about movies, TV, and basically everything that we are watching right now. I'm Dash, and with me is
Leon. What's up?
So, it is here finally.
Oh God.
Game of Thrones, the final season.
Are you ready, folks?
Oh
my.
Oh, I'm anxious, excited.
So hyped.
Yeah, it's insanely hyped.
I can't believe there's only 6 episodes.
Yeah, only 6 episodes. But the good thing is the episodes are longer.
But there's so much to cover.
So much to cover. It finally, everything we have built up so much over the years, and finally we are reaching the resolution point of it all.
How long has it been? 9?
9 years, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's been an emotionally exhausting journey, but a journey that has a lot of highs as well, a lot of big moments and everything. And on today's episode, basically, we will be geeking out about Game of Thrones pretty much. We'll be talking about some of the best and our favorite moments from season 1 to season 7. Just in no particular order, we're just going to throw some of our favorite moments out there. But just be warned, this is going to be full on heavy spoilers when we discuss about these moments. So if you haven't watched Game of Thrones,
what are you doing with your life?
Yeah, seriously, what are you doing with your life? It's Game of Thrones. You have to
get right
watch
on it.
Yeah, but in all seriousness, if you haven't watched it and you plan on watching it, then probably don't watch this video first. Go and binge all 7 seasons first before the before the season premiere, and then come back and watch this video and geek out with us.
Definitely.
So,
what's your favorite moment?
So let's start with season 1, right? So you watch season 1, from the first episode, assuming that Ned Stark, just like when is the main character who eventually, after going through ups and downs and however many seasons, at that time we weren't sure yet, eventually at the end of it he'll be sitting on the Iron Throne. Yeah. I mean that's every big fantasy or even non-fantasy, any TV series or movie is like that. You have this main character and then they go through highs and lows and then eventually they win.
It's like adventure.
Yeah. But then the episode that really hooked me in season 1, and after that it was just non-stop 10 hours a day, sometimes even more, just binging, and I finished like 5 seasons in 5 days. And that
season a day, that's how you do it.
Yeah, and that was season 1, episode 9, when Ned Stark's head gets chopped off, ordered by King Joffrey. And I remember sitting down and watching that scene, and for like a few seconds, I didn't want to believe that it happened. Yeah, I thought there's some sort of trick. I thought the axe swung, but they didn't cut.
Yeah, someone would come and stop it or something. Right? Like an arrow.
Because this is Ned Stark. This is the biggest actor. Sean Bean is the biggest guy. Yeah, the main guy there, and it was just such a moment that I couldn't believe it. Like my heart just I swear it just stopped beating for a split second. I was like, is this serious? So this is a show that killed off what we thought was the main character within the first season. And it was just...
How many shows did that, realistically, back in that day?
Oh my God!
Right. Can you name any off the top?
It didn't make sense. My immediate thought was, okay, so where are we going to go with this? Yeah. And then you continue because you're so that was the point. That was the scene, the moment that really hooked me in, and it was just non-stop from there. Because then we then as the series progressed, we realized that all these random supposedly side characters, just the Ned Stark's youngest daughter and whatever, Arya. And all, and now Arya and like Bran, and they somehow became the main characters of the TV series. So Ned Stark's essentially execution by King Joffrey is the moment. It's one of my favorite moments. It's a very heartbreaking moment. It's a shocking moment, but it's a moment of TV that I will never ever forget.
Basically, like the whole entirety of season 1. You know how some books have like a little prologue about backstory. When you were a child, like the main characters as a child and stuff. That was basically season 1 of Game of Thrones. It was this little prologue that we read in the beginning of the book before getting into it.
It is. It was just like it's like you're watching Harry Potter and like after the first Harry Potter dies. And you're like, what? Like, where's this series going? And then like eventually the hero is like Neville Longbottom and like Parvati Patel and all that. It's like, what? Yeah. So okay, now like moving on from that. So Leon, what's like one of the scenes you want to talk about?
I would say the more recent ones, not season 7, season 6.
Okay.
Like, you got to talk about the Light of the Seven.
Okay, so you're talking
10.
about episode 10 called Winds of Winter.
Yeah, the first 10 minutes.
Oh,
what a masterpiece that was. That was just beautiful. We need like a moment of silence to just pay respects to all the characters that died that episode.
And honestly, that director is Miguel Sapochnik, if I'm not mistaken, and it may not be my absolute favorite moment, but it's definitely up there. I'm right there with you. But it's probably the most best directed 10 minutes of it's an extended sequence non-stop that
beautiful. Oh my god.
That goes on for about 15 minutes or so, or 10 15 minutes. Yeah, 10 minutes. And that music, Light of the Seven by Ramin Djawadi, who's Ramin is an MVP of this series, man. One of the biggest MVP. He is excellent. His music has been excellent throughout. The theme song, the unskippable intro theme song and all that.
For sure. Cersei is supposed to attend her trial, her own trial. And of course, she being, the badass queen that she is, didn't show up. And everyone was just like, well, why? Why isn't she showing up? Why isn't she here? Isn't she just gonna let this slide?
Yeah, because this was the point where, like, season 6 and all, where the High Septon, basically this very extremist religious group, gained a lot of power, ironically given by through Cersei,
herself,
and they became like this extreme religious group that made Cersei do the Walk of Atonement, and they were very
shame.
Another great moment. Sure. And so they were like beating people. They were doing all these extreme religious things, just to purify people of their sins and all that nonsense. And so basically they were gonna charge Cersei with incest and a lot of other things. They basically called Cersei a sinner. And so she was supposed to stand trial, and
she didn't show up.
She didn't. But the way the episode plays out, it's you don't know that she's not going to go there.
Yeah.
Because people have gathered in the set. Basically, this big hall where the trial is going to be, and like Marjorie Tyrell, one of the bigger, more interesting characters, is there, and like the High Septon is there. Like a lot of big characters are there, but Cersei isn't showing up. You see her sipping on wine. You see her like dressing up like very elegantly and all that. But she's just not going to the trial. And it's directed in such a way where the tension just keeps building.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a very quiet 10 minutes, but the tension keeps building and building and building. And
and then they send what's his name? The guy, the rope guy that went under the keep later on.
Oh, like Lancel Lannister. Grandmaster Pycelle and Lancel Lannister basically like this. Cersei sent like these children like whisperers, like little birds to go and get these people, and like these were
a little puzzle, domino effect going on.
And these were like Cersei's enemies already at this point. And you are just sitting there wondering what is going on,
what's
happening, and then it builds and it builds, and then you see the children running, and then in the sept, Marjorie, who is one of the most intelligent characters, underrated,
prettiest as well.
Yeah, and
she didn't deserve that death.
Yeah, like
it was just like that. Everyone was dead just like that.
Yeah, and you could see that Marjorie was like, she started to realize something was up.
She knew something was up, for
sure.
sure.
She knew something was up. So she started to tell the High Priest, dude, like something is not right. We need to get out here. But the High Priest, being the arrogant, thinks that he knows everything, and it's like God is all powerful. But it's all just a front, and he's just boosting his ego in a sense. And he was like, no, Cersei will be here. She has to answer to the gods and this and that. But Marjorie started to know, and then we start to see what's going on. And you see these little kids running, and you see Grandmaster Pycelle die,
stabbed by little kids.
Like Lancel Lannister gets stabbed, and he starts crawling towards a candle, because Cersei is the also dramatic person. She's not just gonna kill you like that, and she has to have a big moment.
Yeah, for sure.
And then you see the candle like slowly, and like it hits basically
the
wildfire, and the whole sept
just
explodes. Like, it just blows up. Cersei just wipes out
everyone
his
that's in
enemies within a second.
These are all major characters. They have been in the series for like the whole season at least, right? And that's how they die. They just die like that. It wasn't even like an epic moment like Marjorie. I would assume they would give, because most characters that die in this show have somewhat of an epic moment.
Yeah,
you know?
but this was just a wipe
it was just
out
Cersei.
by Cersei.
It was just all.
Yeah, and even more than that.
Yeah.
So you think that Cersei gives that smile, she sips a wine, she's like, won.
You think she won. Yeah.
You think she won. And then it cuts to Tommen's room. And because this time Tommen is very, very in love with Marjorie, his wife, and also he's the king of the Seven Kingdoms. He sits on the Iron Throne in King's Landing. Yeah. Cersei did it to protect Tommen essentially. But Tommen, because he was essentially like not really in support of his mother at this point, and all that, and he was starting to really believe in this extreme religion and all that.
And honestly, I think he would have made at least like a decent king.
Yeah, he would have. Yeah. But you know, like I think he when he saw it explode, he was just defeated.
Yeah.
And the way even that scene was directed,
he gave his life up.
Like Miguel Sapochnik just puts the camera still. You see Tommen looking outside of his window. So he's looking,
seeing
right?
that explosion.
Yeah, he sees that explosion and he's just heartbroken. But you don't see much of an emotion from him. He's no words, complete silence. Then he walks out of frame. So you think that, okay, he's going to go somewhere. And the camera just stays still looking at the window. And then you see Tommen come back again.
He just climbs up the window like
and just
peacefully, like calmly, nothing. We don't even expect what was going to happen. And then he just jumps off the
window. It's just superbly directed.
Wow.
Okay, so another scene, and I think this is my absolute favorite sequence in a negative sort of negatively it affected me negatively.
Okay,
but it's my absolute favorite scene on the small screen, on the big screen, whatever. Okay. It's the most traumatic. It's the most shocking scene. It's the Red Wedding. Season 3, episode 9. Yeah. Now, I don't like this scene because it is fun, because I want to stand up and cheer. There's nothing fun about the scene at all. But when a scene moves you and breaks you to this degree, you just cannot. You have to talk about it.
It takes you back to like season 1.
Yeah.
You think they are the main characters. Robb Stark, being the king of the North, the mother was there.
Yeah, Catelyn Stark. And then now Robb because you see, here's the thing with Game of Thrones, right?
Yeah.
You
cannot fall in love with a character.
Yeah, and you can never, you think you're smart as an audience. So you watch season 1, Ned Stark dies, and you're like, okay, so this story is about Robb Stark.
Yeah.
And about how this eldest Stark boy, he's coming into his own. He's taken up his father's place essentially, and he's becoming this warrior, this king in the north, or like the northern, like everyone in the north has rallying. We are rallying behind him. He's trying to take revenge of his father. So basically, from the point of Ned Stark's death, which was season 1, episode 9. Yeah. So season 1, episode 10, all through season 2 and all through season 3, they built up the king in the north.
Yep.
Before that, somewhere around season 2, or was it early season 3? I binge watched this so many times I can't remember where it's where. He needed to build an allegiance with
other kingdoms,
with specifically with House Frey, because he needed to cross their bridge.
Yeah,
and then that would essentially basically help him defeat the Lannisters. So he promised Lord Walder Frey that he would marry one of his daughters.
Yeah,
but then he falls in love.
He chose
with basically a nurse. Yeah. So this nurse, Lady Talisa, who he falls in love, and she falls in love with him, and both of them fall in love.
Classic prince fall in love with a peasant girl, something like that.
Yeah, and then he gets married to her. His mom advises him against.
He got her pregnant as well.
Yeah. His mom advises him against it because Lady Catelyn is a very experienced woman. Yep. She has seen war. She's been married to Ned Stark for a longest time and all that, so she understands all these things. And she said, you may not love the phrase and all that, but your dad and I, we didn't fall in love. We just got married, and then we built our relationship. Out of duty, and we built our relationship after that. But Rob, being the passionate young guy that he is, he was like, no, I'm gonna choose love and all that. So he essentially went against what the phrase said. So he's like, and then in the end, like his uncle married, instead of him, his uncle married one of the Frey daughters. Then, but even then, he has been winning all the small battles against the Lannisters. And then there's this big wedding ceremony where even the Freys are, very happy. It's like, fine, I don't get Robb Stark, but at least, I'm still marrying off my daughter to a highborn. And they're celebrating. And what is so interesting again about the scene, just like we talked about Light of Seven, it's like it was during this wedding dinner. And so they remove the uncle from the thing where this whole bidding ceremony and all that, and they basically take out the uncle and his wife from this dining area and all that. And then the music, the way the scenes are, the tone of the scenes slowly starts to change. It doesn't drastically change, it just slowly starts to change. And you're wondering what's going on. Then the Frey sons and like some of the musicians of the Frey family, they start to play the Lannisters theme song, which is The Reigns of Castamere. So they start playing this theme song. It's a very spine-chilling theme song, and Catelyn Stark is wondering what the hell's going on. And then she notices that Roose Bolton, who was supposed to be like one of the strongest supporters of House Stark, is wearing some sort of armor. And then Catelyn Stark, who is always, she was very intelligent, she was like, okay, this is not good. Something is going on. And then within a few minutes, everything just goes to shit.
Plot twist.
The Boltons turn on the Stark and they just start murdering every single the first person they go and they just start stabbing Lady Talisa, which is Rob's wife, and she's pregnant. To die like that. And she's pregnant at this time. And when that happens, your mouth just drops to the ground. My heart stopped. It literally stopped. I swear I died and went to the heavens. and it was crazy.
It's like, what? For 2 seasons.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense. And my eyes started to tear, and I was like, no, they're going to find a way to escape. But the scene is directed in such a way that they don't let you like think. You're just shocked. You feel like screaming. You feel like you're crying, and then like after that they start shooting arrows at Robb Stark. And Lady Catelyn is in tears and she's screaming and like the
tries and kills. She goes and kills one of the daughters.
Yeah, she kills one of the Frey daughters at the end. Like
care.
He doesn't give a damn at all because he is just maniacal and he's laughing. And then like a guy comes, like Roose Bolton goes up to Robb Stark. Roose Bolton is supposed to be one of the Stark's biggest alliance, biggest friends and all that. And he just stabs Robb Stark in the heart and he says the Lannisters send their regards. And it's the most emotionally scarring, most traumatizing moment in
especially
cinema.
for Catelyn as well.
Yeah, and
she had to watch her husband died, and now her eldest son died.
Yeah, and her husband, at least she didn't see it in person, but it's still sad, and now she's watching her eldest son just die, and she begs. And the worst part is she begs Walder Frey, like, let my son go. Like, you can take me as a hostage. I'll do whatever. That's when she takes like Walder Frey's daughter and wife, whatever. And puts a knife to her throat and says that, dude, like, if you don't let my son go, I will slit your wife/daughter's throat and whatever she is, one of Walder Frey's wives. And Walder Frey is like, I'll find another. And she Lady Catelyn just slits the daughter's throat, and then someone else comes behind Lady Catelyn and slits her throat.
Just like quietly too. And you're just there, you're watching her, in distress, in total despair. And then someone just comes and just cleanly is like that. Like,
it just destroyed me, honestly. And it was the moment, honestly, I love Game of Thrones to the core, and I haven't stopped watching since then. But at that moment, I needed to take a walk. I was crying, and I honestly considered stopping.
This is literally what a roller coaster ride.
Yeah,
like,
of emotions, and I literally considered stopping because there was a moment because I was like, this is not worth my emotions. Like,
I was like
it just took my, honestly, I was so broken. Like, I've watched the show now 4 times. And even the 4th time watching, I cannot bear to watch that scene. It still breaks my heart. And at that point, I just about to give up. Luckily, I didn't, because there are a lot of happiness that happened afterwards.
Yeah, a lot of good moments after that as well, for sure.
But that moment, man, it's just.
Yeah, I think it was really one of the, like, the lowest point. I would say one of the lowest point ever
of the show.
Like the purple wedding even wasn't even that.
Yeah. Because that was a good thing, because you wanted Joffrey to die, but this was and at that point, Robb Stark was one of my favorite characters, if not my favorite.
Yeah.
And to just see him die, it was traumatizing. It's absolutely traumatizing.
Yeah.
But okay, let's I think we're running out of time a little bit. Once we start talking about Game of Thrones, we won't stop. But before, let's just geek out about a good moment, or maybe an epic battle or something. Something more exciting and not emotionally traumatizing.
Like the Battle of the Bastards.
Battle of the Bastards.
Oh,
okay,
man.
One of the great battle sequences of Game of Thrones, I would say.
Yeah, it was honestly like really crazy. It's one of the most, I would say, accurate one as well. Like,
what do you mean
in television and in cinema?
In terms
it's like
of
the most
battle accuracy.
Yeah, like battle accuracy, like how war felt like, at least back in the medieval days. Everyone it's not like an honorable battle between two people fighting. It's not a sparring match, or
it's not as much as I love Lord of the Rings. It's not a graceful,
it's not an epic
it's not an
battle.
It's epic, but it's not a graceful kind of battle like you see in Lord of the Rings. It's more like bodies are just clashing, and it's mud and it's poop, and people are like
strategies being applied, and
bodies are piling up.
Yeah, and most people, in war, they don't really die because of they do die from like cuts and wounds, right? But most of them actually do die from being just trampled by humans.
And Jon Snow,
he almost
got trampled.
And then when you see he come up from that pile of body,
yes.
And then there was this high drone shot above him, like, oh
it's
my
amazing.
God, that was such a good moment.
Yeah, but even before, to give some context to the Battle of the Bastards, this was the point where our biggest, other than Daenerys Targaryen, so Jon Snow, I'm a Stark guy through and through. So at this point,
of course.
Jon and Arya are two of my favorite characters. So Jon is like apart from Daenerys, Jon was the biggest hero. He started off as just this bastard, and now he has risen, and like everyone in the North started to call him the king in the North after his brother, and so he reached that level. And on the opposite spectrum is the most psychotic Game of Thrones character, probably even more psychotic than Joffrey, who enjoys torturing people as much as Joffrey. He loves, he tortured Theon, and he did a lot of things. He raped Sansa, and now he killed Rickon's direwolf, and he had Rickon hostage, and Ramsay is also at this point. He was also a bastard son.
Yep.
So he was Ramsay Snow and he just became Ramsay Bolton, and therefore this Battle of the Bastards. So it's Jon, the Northerners, and also the Wildlings versus Ramsay, his Bolton army, and also like some of his alliances and all.
Yeah.
And so when the battle started, Jon had a plan.
Yeah.
His plan was to allow to let the Boltons attack first.
Yeah.
But then Ramsay, the ever maniacal Ramsay, he makes Rickon run.
Rickon stop.
And he plays with Jon's emotion, and then just when Jon was about to catch him, he shoots an arrow through Rickon. Rickon is dead. Jon is
music starts bringing up,
yes.
You were prepared for this epic battle.
Yes.
So then you see the Bolton army starts charging for it, and
and
Stark's army
and before that, because the plan was to let the Boltons charge.
Yeah.
But Jon Snow was at this point just so emotional. He was screw you, you kill my brother, I don't care, whatever, like screw F the plans, whatever, I don't care about all that. And he just sings solo, he just started running and they started shooting arrows at him and all that, and he just started charging towards the Bolton army. And then like all the wildlings and everyone's like, okay, whatever, screw the plan, let's just fight. And it becomes this big, this grimy, this body to body battle with bodies keep piling up, and Jon almost gets suffocated, and because this is Game of Thrones, you're like, is this how Jon Snow dies?
He dies? No.
Because he makes a mistake. He doesn't follow what Sansa says. He doesn't follow his own battle plan.
He already died once before this?
Yeah,
he already died once before this. So
and
like,
you're like,
are you going to kill him
my
again?
God, is this how he's going to end? So your heart starts pumping really, but he struggles and he he comes out. And they keep fighting, but the Bolton army is just the numbers. They are outnumbered.
The strategy was amazing.
Yeah,
they really cornered them like rats.
They circled them and they started killing, and they
shield wall and spears and
and you're just like, stabby. How are they gonna come out of this? And then boom. Sansa at the distance with Lord Baelish comes riding in with the Knights of the Vale, and it's really the cavalry has arrived, and the Knights of the Vale, which are known as some of the best fighters within the Game of Thrones story, and then they came, and then you see Ramsay's face of like, okay, we are probably screwed. Pretty much. Then the Knights of the Vale just come and wipe out all the enemies. They save the day. Sansa is like looking at the distance, and that's why there's a lot of things happening in Battle of the Bastards, because even Sansa, at the first season, everybody hated Sansa.
Oh, I kind of still do.
Yeah, but her character has grown so much. Yeah. Because at the start, she was just this whiny, annoying person, and she went through a lot. She learned a lot of lessons along the way. Like, she got played by Cersei. Yeah. She saw the world for what it is essentially, because she was thrown into the thick of Cersei's politics, and she got toyed by the Tyrell, she got toyed by Cersei, then she got toyed by Peter Baelish, Littlefinger, and then she got sold to Ramsay, and basically she was just married to different people, and like they just kept throwing her left and right, and they kept using her, and then Ramsay rapes her. But with each incident, she grows stronger. And now, honestly, Sansa is not one of my favorite characters. I think she still can be a little bit bitchy and all, but I support Sansa like fully now. I think she's an excellent character, and I think that she has grown so much, and I was really happy to see her mature and to she essentially
now
saved the day.
Yeah, now like a Stark, like a
like a real, like, you know, like a woman, like a Stark woman, like a mom, but more politically inclined. She's grown into a leader, and to see her ride in with the Knights of the Vale. Of course, she didn't fight, but it's because of her. Yeah. She brought in with her relationship with Peter Baelish, and she brought in the Knights of the Vale, and then like Ramsay escapes. They storm, like the giant breaks down. The giant 1-1. He breaks down the door before he's eventually killed off, and then
after everything,
Jon bashes Ramsay. Yeah, but then.
Then the dogs ate him.
Oh yes, that was a beautiful scene.
Really good conclusion. That's how he should have died. Yep.
Ramsay is known for, you know, having his dogs like eat people and talk, like, you know, he feeds people to his dogs. So to see Sansa standing outside the cell where Ramsay is tied up, and Sansa is looking, and Sansa lets the hounds on him, and it's his own dogs that bite him and eat him and eventually killed him. And Sansa, first she turns away. But like that, for a split second, she turns back and she's like, no, I'm gonna watch this, and I'm gonna enjoy this. This asshole who did all these vile things to me. She just has that smile on the face, and it just wraps up that story. And it's
after everything, you see the Stark insignia flag comes down.
Oh, the Stark banner comes down, and it
was like finally home.
Yeah, it's like after
how many seasons of just suffering.
Yeah, suffering. You go through that. You go through Ned Stark's beheading. You go through the Rob's death with the Red Wedding, and then you see Sansa going through all this, and at this point Arya is somewhere else,
far away. Yeah,
and even Arya has gone through a lot of troubles, and then you see Rickon die. Yeah, and everything. And Bran, who is also like, Bran lost his legs and all that, and he's out there somewhere doing his own side story about Three-Eyed Raven thing, and finally, you know, it's like after it's just such a
win
great,
for the Starks.
A big win for the Starks. One of the great happy
taking
big
back
moments
the North
of Game of Thrones. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay,
That was good.
I think we have talked like
That was
honestly, like we have been it's such a
brand Hodor.
Oh,
Another great moment.
Dude, we can go on for days,
that's
man. We can go on for days, but we gotta end it right here. Game of Thrones season 8 coming out.
Yeah.
Are you excited?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I still can't believe it's like this. It's only 6 episodes.
6 episodes, and then it's
I don't even know how they're gonna like what to expect. I don't
know what to
expect.
have. A lot of theories. I'm sure you have a lot of theories, but dude, like both of us are just so hyped for it. So Game of Thrones season 8 premieres on Astro. You can watch the on Astro TV itself. It's the censored version, and at 9 a.m. same time as the US, 9 a.m. Malaysia, HBO. But if you go to either Astro Go, which is their streaming platform, or there's another app called Enjoy, which Astro also own, NJOI. So either Astro Go or Enjoy, it's completely uncensored. Ooh. So watch it on those platforms, completely uncensored. Everything is there. Stay tuned. Monday, Game of Thrones season 8.
Yeah.
So guys, this has been a great conversation about Game of Thrones. I think both of us really enjoyed it. You can see the passion that both of us have for the show. We are excited. We are exhausted, honestly, talking about it. But we can go on for days. So let us know in the comment section below if you'd like to see more Game of Thrones discussions like this. We are planning to do one episode like this every week after the episode has aired. We'll take some time to process, to digest everything. Then we'll come and geek out like this again.
Yeah. So let us know down in the comment section.
Also, seriously, just watch Game of Thrones. It's coming on Monday.
Do it.
Let us know what you think. I'm Dash.
And I'm Leon.
So, like the video, subscribe, share it with all your friends.
Yeah.
Until next time.
Bye.